All right. Hi, hello, mabuhay. This is Chris Lina. Welcome to GeekClicks, and thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you for everyone who's been in the show or has been supporting the show since our debut last November. And thank you for all the geeks out there. This is for you guys. This is a show for each and every one or each and every geek, photographer, toy photographer, anyone really. This is for each and everyone. Our core is toy photography, and it's really the essence of the show. But every geek is welcome. We're sharing and celebrating the perfect time to be a geek here in Geek Click. So, well, first off, welcome to the show, and thank you to everyone who's been in the comment section right now. First is Harold Ruiz. Thank you for watching. He's been a guest of us, and he was sorry, yeah, he was a guest previously last month, and now we have another one fourth of the Titans upcoming. Avicenna Smith, thank you so much. Thank you for watching all the way from, or he's watching in our YouTube channel. Thank you for supporting the show. Thank you, Chester Minoro, always present. Um, Titan Masters are in the house. Yes, only three more to go. Right, I've already interviewed the now honorary member of the Titan Masters. Um, Present Gabo, thank you for watching, even though he's doing groceries. Yeah, and thank you for watching. Present just got home, and I'm glad that you're home safe, Jordan Sabado. Alan Parman, talking about the honorary Titan. Thank you so much for watching, and the newest Titan Master, Alan Parma. Thank you so much. Hey, Lodi. Salamat, Lodi. Thank you so much for watching. Hello, Uncle Chris. Thank you, Uncle Tito Perry Chua. One fifth of the Titan. Alan is the new Titan. Oh nga, one fifth na pala. One fifth. It's been divided into five. Anyway, but thank you, everyone for watching. But before we begin, I'd like to first greet each and everyone who's been supporting the show. First, let me start off by getting our sponsor right here, Henry's Cameras PH. Thank you for supporting us, our show, and thank you to these three. Special thanks to Perry Chua, Rafi Panganiban, and Ryan Gomez, the holy trinity of Philippine toy photography. Of course, shout out to Cher Padilla, Nel Dizon. Thank you for founding the Philippine toy photography and being admins as well. They've been creating a great community, at least here in the Philippines, right? So I know that this is now reaching out communities outside the Philippines. But I'd like to give a shout out to these three. Also to Geoff Villaruz, you know him as Prince Draco on Instagram. He's been a supporter of the show, and he's been sending out prizes to be given away. And we are gonna give out one prize today. I don't have it with me, but I'll send it out next week, right? For those who, for the person who's gonna win the prize. Thank you so much to Carlos Balandra. We're still to raffle off his prize, Mythic Legions. And thank you to Hobby Toys Laguna and Sourcing LA Collectibles. Also, stay tuned because this June it's gonna be epic. Starting off today, you know who's our guest today, right? One fifth of the Titan Masters, Akira Jo, is gonna showcase. Actually, we're gonna find out more about his workflow, and later you're gonna get a chance to ask him out what his creative workflow is. Ask him anything aside from money, of course. He or toys. Now he would have a hard time sending it to you guys. Vicente Lim tomorrow. We're gonna have a good time with composition. Tops also gonna join us next week. Mystery guest this June 19th. And I think there's also a mystery host. I don't know, but I'm really unavailable at that time, but they took over. Next is Patrick Ong on the June 26th, another one fifth. So hopefully we can get to interview the last one fifth of the Titan Masters after Patrick. And Paulo Rodriguez, our chief of Philippine Toy Photography Club, is gonna join us on the last Sunday of June, right? And also we have an ongoing competition, and I'm sorry to say, Harold, you can't join this, but you can send your entries. But it's Independence Day, the Philippine Independence Day. We're celebrating that along with Henry's Cameras PH, and we have an ongoing competition. theme and relevance is 20%, originality is 10%, creativity is 25%, the impact or the overall appeal of the photo is 20%, composition or the technique that includes composition and lighting is 25%. That's, well, again, it's the theme is all about the Independence Day. In the Philippine Independence Day, so it's unfortunately exclusive to Filipinos. But again, send in your entries if you can. You're gonna get a chance to win major prize of Ulanzi lights like this one. It's a pair of these lights. They're really good for toy photography. Very, very good. So hopefully you get a chance to win one of these, and also some minor prizes for three winners, and all of the entries will receive a free shipping coupon, all exclusive from Henry's Cameras PH. Yan. So thank you everyone for watching. Let me see who else is watching. Alan Parma will be. We will combine to into a giant robot soon. All the tyrants will form. I'll form the head. Right? I don't know who's gonna be the head at that time. Oh, thank you so much for watching, Maki Maglonzo and Giancarlo Lagumbay. Thank you so much, all the way from Cagayan de Oro. Hopefully, we can talk soon, Giancarlo. But yeah, I'm not gonna delay this any further. Sir Chief, by the way, is shouting out. Thank you so much for watching. I'm not gonna delay this any further. Let's all welcome the one, the only Akira Jo. Hi,
Hello.
hi, man.
Hi. Thanks.
How are you? How's life so far?
It's actually pretty cold here. Like it's
Pretty
winter at the
cold.
moment. Yeah.
Winter. If I may ask, where exactly in the world are you located?
Down under Australia. Sydney, Australia at the
Australia.
moment. Yeah.
So it's midnight, is it? I,
No, it's 9 p.m.
oh, 9 p.m. So only two
Yeah.
hours. Okay. All right. So I think it's not too late.
It's not that
Right.
bad.
Not that bad. No, thank you. Well, at least thank you. First, thank you for taking the time in guesting in the show, and
Well, thank you for the invitation.
it's an honor inviting or you taking the time for this because we want to get to know more of Akira Jo on a deeper level, because all we see are good photos, great photos, right? But we want to get into that creative mind of yours, because you're one of the people that one of the people that we look up to, at least here in the Philippines. You guys have great fans here, if I may say, like
Okay. Thank you.
like even Chester mentioned one of my idols here.
Oh,
He's gonna
thanks,
guess.
Chester.
So Avicenna says, "Teach me, master." He's
You
watching
should be
from
teaching me
YouTube.
instead.
Avicenna is fear from bats, right? Fear
Yep.
of bats photography,
Fear
right?
of bats. Yeah.
Fear of bats photography, right? So yeah, but we'll talk about more about your work. So but first, Akira Joe, let me start by the first question. When did you start shooting, and when did you start collecting toys?
When did I start shooting? Well, it started from collecting, so maybe around 2012.
2012. Wow. Almost a
Collecting.
decade. Yeah.
Yeah, almost a decade, but that's just collecting though. Like then
Okay.
few years later, my collections are going through the roof. I was thinking, yeah, I can't do anything about this. Then I stumbled upon toys photography, like ACBA and all that. Then I start
Uh-huh.
yeah. So maybe I start from 2014, 2015, something like that.
2015. All right. So it's about 5 years when it comes to the shooting part.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty
But it's
much.
almost a decade when it comes to the collecting. Do you still
Yeah.
remember the first few items in your collection?
I started with think I started with looking at plastic models, like model kits like
Model
Gundam and all
kits.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
Then I got really lazy. I don't have the time to
To build.
to build it up. So then I start looking at Kamen Rider, the SIC at that time,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, then move on from there. Keep going, keep going.
All right.
Always starts with one,
And then it multiplies
then it
immediately.
multiplies.
That's fun to see. Um, Love all of your works, Akira from Perry
Thank
Chua,
you, Perry.
one of our mentors here in the Philippines. He's really good at lighting. But yes, he actually says that your work is really really great. The composition and everything is really at on point.
Oh,
Mentor
thank
and
you.
brother from Harold.
What's up,
Thank you.
brother?
Yeah, and hopefully you're doing well there. We know it's crazy in Taiwan right now, so
Yeah,
hopefully you're all well, Harold. Okay, but let's see. Let's talk about your Instagram and a few of your shots,
sure.
because I have selected a few of what I think are really really interesting to talk about. Uh,
Okay.
Yep. So let's see. I think right there we go. Let me just zoom in a bit in here. This is one of your 2018 shots.
One of my. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So well, first let's talk about what created or what brought about this shot. What was the idea behind? Because it's very interesting to me because it has diorama that I haven't seen before. That's the first one that stood out. And second, if I'm not mistaken, the background is DIY, isn't it?
Yes. The background. The background. That's the background is. You mean the building at the
I'm
background or
sorry, the
the
back
background?
the back the buildings at the back. That's what I
The
meant.
buildings
Sorry.
at the back. Okay, I had that made by a friend. So yes, it's
Ah,
the yeah. I don't have the
all right.
talent to make stuff.
Oh, so you don't make your own buildings. All right.
No, 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 no. So I sourced them out because I don't have the time to
Uh-huh.
learn a new skill in terms of making something up. But like, yeah, I'm good. I'm pretty okay at creating a display, but not making creating a like something like an
Ah,
accessories. You know what I mean?
okay, okay. I see. It makes sense. So meaning like arranging what was already made is something that you're
Yep.
good at. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, very 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 much interesting. And this is Pacific Rim, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
To be honest with you, if this picture is just comparison pictures between
Actually,
the
yeah.
yeah. So
Between
like
the
and
sizes.
I'm just showing off a couple of my buildings because at that time I
Hmm.
still have a few buildings, so
Hmm.
it takes a while to collect all these buildings. So I remember it took me about 2 years to collect each buildings to create what I am able to
Uh,
create now. You know what I mean?
okay. I see.
Yeah.
And actually going back one more year, I see one of your one more interesting shot back in 2017. um I
Hmm.
kind of is the concept, if I'm not mistaken, is the concept iRobot in this?
Yes. Yes. The concept is meant to be iRobot because that
Okay.
1,000 toys synthetic human it
Yeah.
reminded me of the iRobot. And then I thought about it. Yeah, you know what Will Smith figure do I have? And then okay, there you go. And just call it the wrong movie, mate.
Wrong movie, man. It was, and it's fun to look at, right? And it's fun to see this one. Really, the concept is, well, mind blowing, at least in my head. But
Thank you.
come to think of it, I mean, when the ideas come into your mind, that's something I want to drill down on. When the idea comes into your mind, do you immediately take a shoot or set up something, or do you write it down, or do you let it pass and then come back to it?
I only shoot on the weekend, like mostly on
Hmm.
Saturdays. So
Hmm.
whatever idea I have, I'll have to hold it until Saturday.
Ah.
Or if I have a few like 1 hour or 2 hours
Ah.
at night, then I'll just put it up. But that's just like you know what I mean? It's like the base of it, just to get a
Okay.
feel like how will it go.
Okay. So during Saturdays, well, did you take a shoot or did you make a scene earlier? Create a scene earlier since it's
Uh,
Saturday, or it's more.
Depends. Like if I have something set up
Mm.
the days before, then I'll just continue that.
Ah,
But
okay.
if it's yeah, but because I have to, I only do on Saturdays, right? And I have to,
Mm.
I update my Instagram daily. So
Mm.
on Saturdays I have to get at least the whole week's work.
Okay. So,
Yeah, but
mhm.
so sometimes I start from the morning and I finish about nighttime. So
Wow. So it takes a long time because it's a whole week's work that you're
yeah.
gonna create in one day. Okay. Oh, that's hard work. Now, I was actually about to ask how long does it take for a shoot for a certain idea to come into reality, but you've already answered that in that sense. But how many pictures or how many different scenes do you shoot in one session? Would you say?
It depends. Depends on
Mm.
how difficult the scenes is. Sometimes I can do it in 10 minutes. I can pop up something in 10 minutes. Then sometimes it
Mm.
can take me about 3 weeks for one picture, even
Wow.
1 month. Yeah. So it really depends. If it's on a good day, I can probably chuck up about 5 to 6.
Okay. Wow. Now, tell us more about the 2 or 3 week picture. Do you have that on recent one of your recent shots, or what made it take 3 weeks for a picture to be
Um.
taken? Yeah.
Okay. The earlier work, I think if you can find like a Cyclops.
Okay. Sure.
There's a Cyclops shot where he's on the ground and he's with his beam going up. Let me.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Sure. I'm working on it. Is it is it on the
It's on Instagram.
2017 period? Yeah. Is it on
Nah,
2017?
it could be. I can't
Okay.
remember when I did it
All right. So what made it take that long while I'm looking for it?
because the beam to is actually light painting, and to get it right,
Ah,
I have to like practice, make sure my hand is steady, and to get the
okay.
right amount, the right glow, and make sure it's on the visor and all that. So that
Okay.
took 3 weeks and a very steady hand. So I was practicing it.
I see. So if I get it correctly, you're until you're satisfied with it, you don't post it. You don't
No,
stop. Okay.
no. If there's anything that I learned from ACBA, and I learned a lot from like you know Book and Simon
Hmm.
Hill. So they just say don't rush it. You don't need to rush it. If it's not perfect,
No
don't
need to
post it.
rush it.
Yeah. So sometimes it take me
Ah,
like that long as well.
I see. Right. Well, at least it makes me feel good as a human that at least and strive at the same time that you guys, the people that we look up to, still experience these things that you stumble upon. That it
Yeah.
takes 3 weeks for you for a picture, just to get that perfect shot. While I'm still looking for that, I'm gonna show a different one that's
Mm-hmm.
a bit earlier, but still very creative. One of the creative shots that I've seen. Um, okay, so I think I flash. There we go. So this
Oh,
was
okay.
way before. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
this one way before.
yeah, way before. And you have the favorite synthetic humans here. Um, so sorry. What is this something that came out of a comic book panel, or is this just something that came into your mind?
Actually, this one is something that came into my head as I was playing with the figure,
Mm.
and I was posting it and I said, "Hey, that looks good. You know what? Let's add a few things. See what we can do." And come out like that.
Ah, okay. So so does that help when you play with your figure just to find a better pose, or sometimes does
Yes,
that come in? Yeah.
yes. So sometimes I get inspired by the figure itself. I'll be playing with it and start posing and say, "Hey, that pose looks good. What can I do with that pose? What can I put in as like in a scene kind of thing?" You know what I mean? So yeah, you get inspired from the pose by the figure itself.
Nice. Okay. So, all right. So at least that's one more tip that at least our watchers could take note of. Just playing with a
Mm.
figure. These ideas would pour in. Is that or sorry? But aside from that, where do you get most of your ideas from when you shoot?
Uh, when I shoot, okay, mostly like I think
Mm.
Harold mentioned this before as well. Look at the comics. You look at
Yeah.
pictures from PixArts and all that. Google,
Mm.
whatever. Just to get inspiration and all that. Sometimes comes from movies, or sometimes
Mm.
comes from your own head, or most of the time comes from your while playing. As I said, another one is like, by playing with your toys, because some figure looks good doing a certain pose, some figure
Mm.
doesn't, which is why we all like sometimes we use Mesco for a typical picture, then you use figure arts for
Yeah.
like when you're trying to do like really awesome poses and all that Mesco can't do. And then if you needed to do even crazier poses, then you need to go to Tech and all that. So yeah, you got to know your figure. So that's why you got to play with it most of the time.
Aha. Okay. So you gotta know your figure. Just to
Yeah,
underline that thought. Okay.
give your
Just
figure
to
some
know the
love.
yeah. For you to know the limitations and the extent of what the figure can do, right? Of
Yep.
course, you don't expect statues to
Exactly.
to be posed. All right, but let's read the comments. Chester says, would like to thank you for joining Toku Underground. He's one of the admins in Toku
Okay.
Underground PH. Yep.
I can't
Um,
remember who invited me, but thank you.
Jordan says Akira Jo is my top 10 of toy photographers that I looked up to since I started toy photography.
Wow, too kind, Jordan. Too kind, man.
All right, and Vicente Lim is also gonna join us tomorrow. Thank you for watching. And Yo Akira Jo from Antonio Alcantara or Bakana Hakuchi. Junico Espino says something in Japanese. I'm not sure
Konbanwa.
if konbanwa. Konbanwa. All right, so let's talk about one of your other shots from 2 days ago.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So, what was the inspiration? Did this just come into your mind when you shot it, or when you figured out? Oh, I have Thanos, and then might as well shoot it. Or what came into your mind, basically?
Actually, this one requires a little bit more planning. I've always had in my head of doing this, but at that time I didn't have the diorama,
Okay.
and the figure hasn't come out yet as well, because I got the idea like inspired from the movie. And
Mm-hmm.
I thought, oh, that would be cool. So I got the diorama made. I thought pretty good, but it's actually not meant for this scene. So that's why I
Mm-hmm.
just take piece of it and then
Ah.
had to find the right background, and the rest is just working on the lighting. To be honest, in the mood, because everything is tangible, as you know, like all my
Mm-hmm.
works are tangible. So yeah, it's actually just get the right lighting and the right mood, and get the right poses. He needs to be sitting, relaxed, and I actually the figure can't do this pose actually. So the trick was I remember doing this. I popped the torso off, so
Ah.
he can lean a bit more forward, so he can sit like more naturally.
I see. Now, okay. So I like that you go beyond what the toy can do or what the figure can do so
Mm.
that it can accomplish that shot. And I've heard you guys talk about that in your previous session that you don't get limited by the figure. But just to ask that, do you have a favorite figure that you also take good care of, or a holy grail, if I may say, in your collection?
Holy Grail in my collections. I got asked
Yeah.
this a lot.
Like if ever someone goes into your room of collection, that's the first thing that you look for, that you won't that you wish you won't find missing.
Oh, that'll be obviously the most expensive one.
What was it?
Which obviously will be like, the most expensive ones,
The most expensive ones.
which are the robots. The Because I collect super robots as well, and those
Super
cost a
robots.
bit. Yeah.
Okay. Actually, there's also a question from Mark Steven Santos. Your thoughts on using practical effects like water and dirt on your future shots?
No, I've used water before, like for rain scenes. Dirt, I'm not sure. I'm not a fan of shooting outside. I always shoot indoor. To bring dirt inside my house, I think my wife will kill me.
I know Mark would feel the same way as well.
It's
Um,
bad enough we're spending money on toys, and you start bringing dirt. I think it's a no go.
I feel the same. Any particular line or brand of toys that you particularly like to shoot, or any favorite toys
Um,
to shoot?
to be honest, no. For me, each brand has its own function or its
Mhm.
own advantage when you shoot. So something like Mesco, you do vanilla shot, they will look good with the right lighting and all that. Figure arts, obviously, you gotta post them well to look good and all that. So for action shots, figure arts is or Mayfax.
Hmm.
So I don't have a particular line. No.
Or do you have a least favorite line to shoot
Oh,
or to
there
pose?
there will be the Revoltec Amazing Yamaguchi ones because sometimes I have a hate and love relationship with that line. So sometimes I get full of QC issues and then things be popping off everywhere, and it's quite annoying because when you start posing and then start moving a little bit, it
Hmm.
changes everything. And
I
I'll
see.
be spending like 45 minutes just trying to fix that pose, just a little bit of posing. It's so annoying.
So annoying. Another one in Japanese from Juniko. Suki no tabemono wa? Did you eat? Or
Now it's asking what's my favorite things to eat.
ah,
Ramen.
ramen. Tabemono. Okay.
Tabemono.
Now I
Yeah.
understand. All right. Don't be afraid to take apart a figure to get the shoot that you want, as long as you don't break it.
Yep.
Taking apart a figure doesn't mean that you're breaking it. All right. That's great advice. Thank you so much, Harold. You got to clean your mess, bro. um,
You do.
all right. So, yes, agree with Mesco. They're good for vanilla shots. we, ca- I think Perry called it uh, museum post shots at a certain point, right? Oh, hello, Akira Jo from Tops.
Hi, Tops.
Good for vanilla shots only, says Perry. And then no Indomie,
Indomie is instant ramen, Indonesian instant ramen.
Indonesian
So
instant
yeah,
ramen.
well, it's
Okay,
ramen. So yes, okay, it's of course it counts. It counts.
it counts. All right. Jordan says, That's true. Love and hate with Revoltech is real."
It is real, man. It is real.
Very, very. Now, as 1/5 of the Titan Masters, we this will not be complete without featuring a few of your shots that are Titan grade.
Mm-hmm.
um, so let's talk about a few of them. One
Okay.
is from 2019. Okay, when you get into a shot, and you've talked about this in the previous live from Titan Masters.
Mm-hmm.
What is something what is the struggle, or describe to us the struggle behind shooting um from kaiju to a normal 112 shot? The struggle between switching from a kaiju shot and vice versa.
It's you have to get your mind sort of refreshed.
Refreshed.
Yeah, so like the why I like doing it because it keeps my mind refreshed. Sometimes I get bored of shooting just titans, so I want to
Mm-hmm.
go into like sort of like a human level comic book and all that. So sort of like I'll take a break and start thinking in that sense. And yeah, as you get used to it, you get better. But it's actually quite challenging because you in your mind it's sort of like you have to feel something new. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? That's why I do
Yeah.
my shots in like batches. If I start doing Titans, it'll be all Titans or Kaiju for a while. Then I start doing something else for a while. So I can't switch it like daily. It's hard, man.
All right. So it's sometimes in the Philippines we call it umay. So I'm not sure if that translates it well, but it's sometimes, yeah, getting sick of something when you eat it for 10 days straight.
Mm,
Some
yeah.
something like that. All right. So now, but talking about this particular shot, there are cutouts as what I see,
Yep.
and I see they they really blend well in my eyes. I don't see them as cutouts. At least when I first saw this, I saw them as real smoke, if I'm not mistaken, or debris at the bottom.
Uh-huh.
Um, so I really don't know what to feel about that, because my eyes got fooled in this shot, that it was really smoke, at least in my eyes. So what was the thought behind, it's a Titan shot, but why was there incorporation of cutouts? It's rare that I see this, honestly.
Um, it's because at that time I was having problem finding
Hmm.
what you call it, like smoke, something that can use the smoke. A lot of people use polyester or cotton, but for
Hmm.
me that doesn't really look good at certain shots.
Hmm.
And if you want to make it more comic-y or cartoony, then I feel like I need to find something different with the smokes. For example, like this one is a good example actually because this is from a cartoon, right? So
Hmm.
with the cartoon cutout, it doesn't look out of place. So that's why I incorporated
Ah, I
that, and
see.
yeah, it doesn't. It's like it's part of the display,
All right. So
and
probably
this is
that's why it got me fooled as well, because it's
yeah,
part of the cartoon. But yeah, go
yeah,
ahead. Sorry.
because it doesn't it's not out of place. It's still the same style. So yeah, sometimes I
True.
think about that too. And this display is actually inspired by the displays before it. As I was, and remember how I was saying I was doing it in
Yeah.
batches. Yeah. So
Ah.
sometimes on a good day, this is what happens.
All right. All right. So now we're getting more into to the mind, what do you call this? The workflow into your mind. Something that I really want to dwell more on. Now, Akira, let's talk about one of your 2019 shots as well. It's really, from what I see, your shots, if I may say, are simple yet has depth to it, has a story behind it, and it's easy to grasp. So is that on purpose? When you shoot, that you'd want the shoot to be, or a picture to be easy to be grasped, not something to be like a puzzle to be
I,
thought
I,
of.
I understand what you mean. Yes, because my weakness is when I first started, nothing makes sense in my pictures. Like, I asked Book and I asked Simon Hill, what do you think? And they said, it's too cluttered. There's no focus, what's going on. So I started making my work simple. So the first thing that I think about is what story am I telling here? So that's the most important thing. And so I have to nail that first thing, and then the rest can follow.
Mhm. And is it okay if we show a few of your early shots that
Sure thing, sure
you
thing. I
are
mean,
talking about? This would greatly tell us that um, there's a story, but the focus
This is when I first started. When was this? 2016?
2015.
15. Yeah.
2015. And a few more to re-emphasize what you mentioned about the journey that you took. And this is something that we're showing for just for emphasis on what you mentioned. As we
Yeah.
can see, it's very different from what we see right now. Your figures are or your shots are way different at this point,
Yes. Yep.
right?
Well, this is the
So
background. It's just wall. It's this, and the lighting is just the ceiling light with my iPhone just snap.
and Mall was in the scene, but
Exactly.
but yeah, I mean that's really something that's something that I personally get inspired because seeing the journey and seeing what consistency you have right now is really really great. As I was browsing these pictures yesterday before when I was scrolling to one of the to what to feature in your shots,
Mm.
I was looking at that journey and it's as if I was I mean I just want to get into that mindset, what went into that journey and how what got you into improving. So basically I wanted to ask on how you take criticisms when it comes to shots, or how do you ask for them, how do you ask for criticisms, and how do you apply them to your work.
Well, when I first started, I realized I know nothing about photography. So, I just snap. Um, so I started learning online about lighting and all that, and I start reaching out to people like Simon Hill and even the amazing. I asked him what does he think about the pictures and all that. So I asked first thing that I asked is what can I improve? What makes a good photos? And I start learning from that. Um, yeah,
Mm,
basically you need to have an open mind. So like people are willing to help you, but it depends on how you take the inputs. If people comment on your shots trying to give you
mhm,
advice, you should take that because if people actually look at your shots, they analyzed it, and then they tell you what's wrong with it. Even though sometimes their words is not very nice and all that, but you shouldn't feel like you're being attacked or whatever.
mhm,
You should feel just like okay, I don't know much, so anything that is given to me, I should learn, kind of thing.
mhm.
So it's all about ego, to be honest.
All right, that's deep actually, because a lot of people get hurt, right?
Yeah, a lot
Immediately
of people get hurt. I noticed. Yeah.
because they think it's more about their attacking them personally, but it's
Hmm.
just a way to improve, right? Well, thank you for that. Hopefully, others could follow the same path that you took, and how you took criticism and how you improve your work. Um, Junico was asking about plastic models, but this was answered earlier where we got started. Perry Chua says the photos are complete. They tell a story. The composition is good. The lighting is spot on, which translate to fantastic outputs.
Thank
So
you, thank you.
yeah, that's an analysis of your current photos. Yeah, the current ones. Prefecture reveal. Junico, Akira Jo is located
Sydney.
in Australia, in
Yeah,
Sydney. So yeah, not in prefecture. I think more in the Japanese, right?
yeah, module in
Japanese.
Japanese.
All right. Mad respect to Brother Akira for the works that he brings to the community. He's very productive, yet his works are never rushed. Posing, framing, lighting, always 100. Definitely one of the best. Kudos. And,
Thanks,
and I
bro. Thanks, bro.
and I think that's one of the things that's very unique to the people that at least we look up to, like you. Um, you guys never rush to take a photo. Sometimes you did mention about the 3 week photo.
Mm.
That's way too long. Um, so okay, so if it's not good, or the question there is, when do you say it's good enough? When would you say a photo is good enough?
Ooh,
Right?
I don't know. I think that's personal thing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
As I grow as an artist, my standard is getting higher, and
Okay.
I sort of know, I understand when it's good enough to post, when it's not good enough to post,
Okay.
that sort of thing. Yeah. So it all depends.
Oh. So when you so let's say when you take a shot and you feel good about that shot, uh, is it sometime or what could be the hesitations?
What
Could
could be the
there be
hesitations?
if there's something if there's such a thing?
Okay, so
Sure.
usually I take a picture and I look
Yeah.
at it. Okay, it looks good.
Yeah.
Then I transfer it to my phone and I
Hmm.
study it. And I see something off. I will not post that picture.
Ah.
Something that I'm not happy with. Let's say the lighting is a little bit off.
Okay.
Even the direction of the lighting, or the posing is not 100%. I will not post that picture. Instead, I will go back to it, reset
Hmm.
everything up, and just redo it again until I get it
Oh,
right.
okay. All right. Okay. No, no. I want to dwell more into that. So it's gonna be like me a beginner's problem. Like sometimes a lot of us, I myself guilty, just rush. They won't notice it. That's the first one. Nobody would notice that. That's the first,
Okay.
right? Then the second one probably is nah. It's already good. The concept's there, right? So now when you see something that like something's off, does it take you longer to reshoot that or reset it up, or do you just take a shoot or take a picture and then transfer it to your phone and don't leave that stuff alone first because sometimes resetting it up would take a longer time, right?
Uh, yes and no.
Okay.
If I already take it off, then I will have to redo. But sometimes when you redo it, it's easier and it's faster
Mm,
because you've done it before.
okay.
You know what I mean? You
Yeah. Yeah.
created that thing, so you know what goes where, and
Hmm.
so it's not like the first time you do it. The first time you do it is always like you're trying to have a feel. You check in here, which one looks good, but when you just redoing it again, resetting it is easy. It's just from your memory because you do it your own art. You know what I mean? Repli-
Hmm.
Redoing it again is not hard,
Okay.
or at least maybe because I practice a lot. Yeah. So
Because you practice a lot. So
yeah,
that goes to another another point that we'd like to underline. Practice a lot, guys.
practice a lot.
So
And now
that's a
also,
reminder to myself as well.
as you were
Yep,
saying,
sure.
you think your audience will not see what's wrong
Notice.
with it,
Yeah.
notice. But the thing is, you as an artist, if you notice it, that means you're not putting up the best work to your audience.
Okay. Something to take note of, guys. These are gold, guys. If you already notice that you're not putting the best, actually, that's what Perry mentioned as well. I like what you said about making your standards gets higher. That's
Yeah.
nice. Okay, but at least it really it hits hard. It hits hard, and actually it's how we take it, right? So guys, if you notice something, yeah, most likely people would do, and just give the best to your audience, right?
Yeah.
As great
I mean, that's
artists,
me, but everyone else is different. You know what I mean?
everyone else, yeah, that is true,
Everyone
that
else
is
is
true.
different.
What we're just underlining are good points that you pointed out. So another one of your this from a couple of years ago, right? This is
Yep.
I'm not sure if this is when the figure was released. Was it?
Yes. Yes.
That was then, right?
Yeah, that was
And
that.
wow, it really is on point. The composition is, the colors are really popping out, at least in my eyes. So when you get a figure, because I think that we can't really get much into to your composition in
Hmm.
stuff because that's something that's really hard to get into because we have to dissect your brain and
Yeah.
get it as well. But I guess what I wanted to figure out is how would you know how to pose a figure? I mean, you aside from aside from getting or playing with a figure, what else would you can you give tips when it comes to um, getting or posing? Because that's one of your strengths as well.
Okay. With posing, I study the best in the business. Like like everyone knows the amazing. He poses really well. You know what I mean? And I watched
Mhm.
just one of his videos, and I think he said like just look at yourself in the mirror doing it,
Look at yourself.
and just apply that to your figure. So I always give that the same advice to people asking, what about the posing? That's
Hmm.
what you should do. Like if you're trying to do a height, like, you're trying to do a pose and you can't picture it in your head, then look at yourself doing that pose in the mirror. Or you find on Google the right pose and everything.
Uh huh. All right.
So yeah.
Okay. So it's like you are doing that all together, right? I mean
Hmm.
the actual post. Nice, nice. I mean for me that's really something that well I have first time I've heard of the imagine you looking at yourself doing that pose. Now because most of the time the advice that we get is something related to well what do you call this something related to the anatomy if or at least if the figure would really get that or post that way and so on but looking at yourself really would help right
Yep. It should help
s-
because the way you move should be anatomically correct.
anatomically correct right underline another underline word and it should be anatomically correct because you won't put your hands like I don't know
Yeah,
too awkward right I get what you mean by that. All right. So let's see. We have a few more questions, but here's the thing, guys. You are gonna get a chance to win something. I don't have it with me, but um, you're gonna get a chance to win from all the way from Olympus. It was donated by Rafi Panganiban and 1.6 scale camera. So if you're ready, or if you see this later on, GC quiz, tell us that you're ready because we're gonna ask you something related to Akira Jo later on.
Ooh,
Yeah, they're gonna win. Well, we give away a lot of prizes
can I
in this,
win?
and I if I go there, yeah, definitely. Why not? I'll bring it myself. Perry Chua says, who's a fan of Alex Ross? Posing is my main weakness. Alex Ross does something similar. He gets his friends to pose in front of him, and that stuck with me ever since. So
You
he
can do that
asks
too.
somebody else to pose.
Yeah.
All right. Oh yeah, yeah. That works well as well. All right. So a few more, probably, just to check more on your work. Um, and you have the behind the scenes for this shot, right?
Yep.
This one. All right.
One of my recent shots. Okay.
Yeah, one of your recent ones. And really, for me, this I I don't want to be a critic at this point because as a host you have to be neutral. But I've seen this, I've seen this effect used used a lot of times, but never did I see it get used this way. I mean, at least it blended in the background like this one.
Oh yeah.
So
It's um. I'll tell you a story about those.
yes, please.
Actually, that comes from my idea. The effect, the smoke effect. So I needed to create a scenery like a Gotham rooftop.
Uh-huh.
So at that time, I needed a smoke that is reminded you of the um, like a Batman art. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I asked my friend Ivan Tribuana in Indonesia, and I asked him, "Hey, can
Hmm.
you do this with glue?" I mean, he goes, "What sort of thing?" So I showed him a couple of samples, and we came up with that. So I was the first person who was doing it, who was using that. I was the first
Actually, yeah.
person. Yeah, and I was when I was doing this, shone a light on it. I actually just wanted to get a rim light on Kabuto.
Mm-hmm.
So this was discovered by accident. And I look at it, hey, actually, this looks pretty good, as if it just transformed. Yeah. So that's how it happens. Sometimes it's just an accident.
True. And Chester is also a fan of Kamen Rider, Kabuto.
Yep.
Uh, nice. So how often does that happen to you? Like an accident becomes a good shot or a better shot than the concept?
Not that often, to be honest. Not that
Not that
often.
often.
Not that often.
Okay. All right. Ivan is now famous because of you. All right, says Mark Steven Santos. Now, again, ask away, guys. It should be an interactive. It's meant to be an interactive live interview with Akira. I'm just at odd, just interviewing in Akira like right now. So hopefully, you guys have questions that you want to throw before we go into our next part. So let me just go into one of your recent, again, one of your more recent shots as well
Sure.
that I didn't know that your well, I just saw a few shots of Shohoku here. uh
Okay.
so Sakuragi, I didn't know that you're a fan of the show because I rarely see shots of him of Slam Dunk. But okay, so it's a basketball shot, so it's meant to be like this one. So
Yep.
um is this all tangible?
All tangible.
Wow. And
I
too
think I
bad you
have
don't
the
have a
behind the
behind the scenes.
scenes.
You
Yes,
you do?
this is actually a repost. I posted this last year.
Oh, you did.
Yes.
Ah,
Because
it's okay. Yep.
I'm now away from my studio, so I can't shoot any new pictures. So everything that I
Ah,
posted now is something that I shot last year.
so all of these waited for a year to be posted.
Yeah, because last year, when
Okay.
COVID hits, I was
I
in
see.
Indonesia and I couldn't go
Ah,
out for the whole year. So I was just brushing up my skills basically the whole year. So I was pumping up work, 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 and I knew I had to go back to Australia because COVID was getting really bad
hmm.
in Indonesia. So I make sure I have enough stock, but probably only about 6 months.
Six
now
months
I'm running
stock.
out. Now I'm running out of work.
Hopefully, you can shoot in the snow. It's hard. Um,
It's tough.
Avicenna says them smoke effects. I asked Ivan to make one for me after I saw your work with it, bro. Haha.
Thank you.
All right. Next question from Perry Chua says, with all the experience you have learned so far, experience wise and all, what would you think? What you think that would make you
For
ah?
everything. I
How
think
would
I
you
still have a
improve your
lot of
craft?
things to. I
Yeah.
still have a lot of things to learn. Like I'm practically new with camera as well. Like I only started shooting, learning how to use the camera. Like when I started shooting, like in 2016, 17. So I know
Hmm.
nothing, and lighting and everything. I'm still learning as well.
Ah,
Um, everything just comes from repeating exercises and practicing,
I see.
practicing. So if you ask me what would I think to would like to improve, I like to improve in a lot of things. There are still so many things that I haven't
Still
able
have the
to do yet.
learning.
Yeah,
Yeah, the beginner mindset at least
yeah.
when it comes to these
Because
things.
there's so many techniques that people invented and all that, and you can use it, like
Mm.
like glass technique and all that, and
Hmm.
light painting. So that's why I keep learning and keep going back to perfecting those skills. So
Nice.
I don't think I'm 100% there yet. So I still need to learn. There's this thing
Still
that
need.
I've been meaning to do, but I haven't been able to, which is multi-scale display. So you have your,
Multi.
yeah. So you incorporated different scales of figures and put it into like your work, and make it look like a poster kind of thing. You know,
Wow.
yeah. So I haven't been
Right.
able to experiment with that. It's something that I would like to try on.
We're gonna look forward to that. Mark Steven says, "Is it true Patrick Ong told me Akira has 1 year reserve photos,
6 months.
6 months?" All right. Well, anyway, thank you so much. Actually, it's nice chatting with you, at least to get
Thank
into
you.
that mindset. But let's make someone win first. So it's time for GC quiz. Let us know if you're ready for this. And a follow up. Keep testing your limits, says Avicenna Smith. Fear
Will
of
do, bro.
bats photography. Hopefully, he can join the show as well. Um, but thank you so much for watching. GC Quiz, tell us if you're ready on the chat box. I'm gonna ask something that's related to Akira. That I've well, uh, I did not do much research on Akira because there's less footprint on on Akira Jo. But people are ready, so if you guys are ready, we're gonna ask the question in a bit. Yeah. And by the way, Akira, are you okay
Yep.
if we also ask for your criticism? Because of three people sent photos
Mm-hmm.
for them to be criticized. Because we have this part where we have critic me. They voluntarily give their photos. You give what you like and what could be improved on the photo. Is that okay with you?
That's fine.
All right. All right. So, guys, if you're ready, question is in what country is Akira Jo located?
That's tough.
In what country is Akira Jo located? The first person to answer is Kathleen. Wow. Guys, actually, she's my girlfriend, so there's no what do you call this, this is something that wasn't planned, so but thank you for everyone who answered. This wasn't planned, guys. Akira could see the comments in his device right now, so he knows that the first person is Kathleen.
Yes.
All right, so for the camera, 1.6 camera. Oh. Yeah, actually, she's one of my greatest critics when it comes to the photos. Really,
Oh, that's good.
when I take a photo, I ask her thoughts, and he's my number one critic who tells me to change the hue, change the saturation, whatever. So those kinds of things. But yeah, thank you so much for those who participated. Now it's time for critic me. Congratulations, Kathleen. It's a 1.6 scale camera. All right. It's kind of weird making your girlfriend win. Not making, but for her to win.
She wanted fair and square.
But fair and square, yeah, yeah, that is true. That is true. All right. Here's the first one. Sent by Chester. So could you tell us what you liked and what could be improved in this shot? All tangible.
Oh, I remember seeing this picture. He used real fire and just doing the light painting, right?
Yeah. Fire painting.
Fire painting. I really like this picture actually. For me to critique, I don't think there's any because I wouldn't put my figure in danger like that, man.
True. And it's
I
SH
can't.
figure arts.
Yeah, exactly. And the price is getting more expensive these days.
True.
Well, I think if I have to criticize, I think he could make it a little bit brighter because he's surrounded by fire, so it should be a little bit hotter. The lighting, but you can't say anything about this. It's respect already with using the bravery using fire on a fairly expensive figure. and I think it was indoor. I can't remember if it was indoor or outdoor.
I think it was outdoor or
It
in
was outdoor.
the. Yeah, I think it was.
Well,
It
it
would
better
be
be outdoor.
unwise inside.
It'll be unwise.
It would not be wise. So okay, but what could he have done to improve this shot further?
Um, I don't think there is much. I think this is there isn't much.
Nice.
There isn't much.
Congra- Congrats, Chester. Thank you so much for sharing this. Let me just go to the next one. This one was sent by Dustin Tolete. It was this one was sent via Facebook Messenger. So the what they call this of the it's not HD anymore. Right. The
That's
quality
okay.
was diminished, but there. Hopefully, you can see the thought behind it.
Yeah, I think I can't. Man, can you zoom in a little bit of the picture?
Sure, sure. Yep,
Thank you.
that's the farthest so we can zoom.
I think it's fine, but one thing I would like to comment on is the use of the fire effect. If you blur the fire effect a little bit better, it will actually look like proper fire. This one it
Ah,
really looks like the effect. You know what I mean? But if you
okay.
blur it, it will look like proper fire. And if you light it up, really light it up, it will look like proper fire actually. So maybe that is one thing that he can do. He can improve on.
Nice. All right.
And yeah, that's about it. This looks pretty good. Maybe the background because I can't tell what's going on at the background. Is it a tree or not? So maybe another source of light at the background.
Hmm. I see.
Yeah, to give it that mood.
Okay. Nice, nice. It's really um it looks it's look like I don't know what was a main thought from our friend from by Kuni Sandy. All right. All right, here's one more. Let me just zoom out a bit. But before that, there's a comment from Alan Parma. Chris should not be allowed to use the price in his shots. Excuse me, I have my own. Have my own 1.6 camera. Just kidding. Harold Ruiz should get a bonus prize for this because from the land of koalas is what the what the answer from where koalas live was from Harold. All
Yeah,
right.
that is the best answer.
Sandy, you're the one on IG, right? So I think, yeah, Sandy um, probably is. Akira Jo, we appreciate it from Chester.
Thank
He's
you.
the one who shot the
Yeah.
fire effect, fire painting. All right, here's another shot from Mark Steven Santos. Tell us more what you like with the smoke effects at the back.
Okay. Um, the smoke effects at the back is fine, but probably don't need it. Um, I don't know why the moon is. That's the moon at the back, but it's yellow.
Hmm.
So I don't know why it's yellow. Personally, I would use like a um, normal color moon, which is like sort of like blue whitish, and also probably need a little bit more of rim lighting. As you can see, part of Venom blended too much with the dark background. Yes, those
Right here.
parts. So with the rim lighting, you can help distinguish um, the the figure, and yeah, that's about it. To be honest, this is
Hmm.
posing is pretty decent. Maybe try to have Spider-Man really hanging, because I can see the knees touching the ledge. So probably use that as a balance, but for me, it sort of loses the illusion a little bit. So if Spidey can reach the ledge, he wouldn't be dangling. He shouldn't be dangling. He could fight his way
Mm,
back.
I
You know
see.
what I mean?
All right.
He
Yeah,
can, yeah,
yeah,
he can literally put his foot up on the ledge and kick Venom.
yeah. All right. Yeah, actually. Okay. Thank you so much. Actually, there's a question or a comment from Alan Parma. It's a blood moon. Blood moon. That's why
Blood
it's
Moon,
yellow.
isn't it red?
Rim lighting, favorite from Perry Chua. Yes, he really loves rim lighting. He's the one who taught me rim lighting. Chester plus Iron Will, fire painting power. um, uh, Sandy, sorry, we can't have that at this moment. Hopefully, you can share us your picture soon. Probably for Patrick Ong when he goes live. But yeah, just send us an email at geekclicks2020 at gmail.com. Okay, thanks. Got it from Mark Stephen Santos. Yeah, he's the one who shot this.
Yep.
Good evening, Rafi Panganiban. Yeah, Kathleen won your prize. Thank you so much for watching. All right, so thank you, Akira. It's been a
Thank you.
pleasure asking you about your workflow, the way you think. It's really really helpful. I have underlined a few things under that, and I'm sure that the people who's gonna rewatch this is gonna pick up from that, and I plan to compile the key things that our guests actually say. And with that, may I ask if you have any tips for beginners for beginning in photography, toy photography, or anything that you want to share in general to inspire others?
Uh, well, just keep shooting, I guess, and don't worry about the likes. Just do whatever that is on your head. But if you first started, don't try to overcomplicate things. Just start simple, learn the basics because the basics are the most important thing that you can use later on. So you have to get your basic sound before you go up a level. A lot of people rush it. They start putting explosions everywhere, and causes like the focus is not there. The story is sort of muddled, which is what I did before. So that's why I tell people this as well, because that was my habit when I first started. And just have an open minded in regards to criticism, because that's the only way you can grow. And that's about it.
All right. Short, simple, but that should hit us hard, guys. So thank you so much, Akira.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Hopefully we can get in touch soon. Hopefully the Harold's plan to gather all the titans or all the titans in Japan would come into play after this is all over, after COVID is all over.
Once COVID is all over,
Once COVID is all over. And as Harold said, grind, grind, grind.
that's it.
Thank you so much for everyone for watching. And this is Chris Lina. Tomorrow we're gonna guest Vicente Lim the fourth, a great grandson of the person in your 1,000 peso bill, and also a great person when it comes to composition, a great photographer when it comes to composition. So, guys, it's been a pleasure sharing this episode with Akira Jo to my left, and I can't say enough. So I have posted Akira's Instagram account on the comment section. If you haven't liked it yet, please do so. And also, he has a YouTube channel which I have posted in the comment section. You do have tutorials in your YouTube, right?
Yeah, it's more like tutorials, behind the scenes tutorials kind of thing.
Behind the scenes tutorials. All right.
Yep.
Yep. So I have posted it, but let me show it to you guys because I like what Toystify is the title. Why is it Toystify, if I may say, if I may
Uh,
ask?
Actually, the name comes like like sort of testify, but we sort of
Yeah.
like play the name with the name a little bit, so it becomes testify. Because I the the idea is just to create something, like behind the scenes of my work, and like the so it's sort of like a tutorial kind of thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
I see. All right. So, guys, these are great videos to look at, to watch out for. You're going to learn a lot. One thing I can guarantee, you're going to learn a lot from Toysify in the tutorials, in the behind the scenes. You're going to see the mind behind the great artwork that Akira Jo posts in his Instagram. So, guys, see you guys tomorrow. And keep on shooting, keep on collecting. This is Chris Lina with 1/5 of the Titan Masters, and hopefully we can join Patrick Ong soon and Kaiju Poo soon also.
Oh.
So, guys, see you and have a good night.